So what's actually the cause of the problem here, and what's the solution? Well, the cause seems to be corrosion. There's a lot of corrosion. I can see rust there because there are steel contacts oxidised, so that's rust. And I can see a lot of chopping and you know, not the correct fixings. So somebody's obviously done some work here, cut the wire and twisted them together, but the problem with that is that, well, when I come to it, they were loose and they're oxidised as well. So that needs to be sorted out. The problem seems to be loose contacts and corrosion. But anyway, it's actually not surprising because when I got this, it was soaking wet, and this bit goes on the ground here, and it hosts the electronics and the motor and all that. But why on earth would you have big holes in here? Why would you do that? For somebody who's you know, dealing with water, somebody who's running a window cleaning business, which people who buy these machines are, why on earth would you have big holes in that? Because it's common sense that somebody who's a window cleaner is going to put this down probably onto a puddle or something. So why would you do that? I don't know. But yeah, but obviously that needs to be sorted out, maybe siliconed in or something like that, because that's just madness. Anyway, I do know why there are some holes, but that just strikes me as mad. The reason why you need some holes, maybe some very small venting, is because when lead acid batteries charge, they give off hydrogen, and you don't want hydrogen building up. But still, you don't need that many holes. And these ones here, although they're blocked off, some tiny little holes here, they would probably be quite sufficient for that anyway. Anyway, how do we fix this? Well, to start with, over here we've got terrible corrosion, and it's because it's been wet. That needs some contact spray on it, and it needs just wiping off or whatever, because that's heavily oxidised. You're going to get a really crap connection with that. So anyway, how do we fix this? To start with, these need to be, I'd say they need to be cut off, soldered on properly, and then probably sealed over with heat shrink. That would sort that out. So obviously contact spray on there, clean that up, and then over to the battery. Again, we've got this here, which is terrible corrosion. Again, very poor contact there. Then over here, this is completely snapped off. What happened is it was on here like that, and when I come to take it out, the thing just broke straight off. So what would have been happening probably is for every little movement it would have been doing that, flexing, and probably would have been getting loose connections there, because you can see even not only there but even here, look, the connection's really loose, and obviously that's not going to do it. So anyway, that needs to be sorted out as well. Now with this battery here, see, oh, this one's the same, but with this battery here, if we're going to use this battery again, I need to get some surface area on that contact, so that's going to have to be drilled out probably. Anyway, I'm sure I can sort that out. So generally speaking, the wiring just needs looking at, because the wiring is rotting away. So we need to sort out the water problem, and we need to just go over the wiring and just check it's alright. And I think this will work fine, because we've checked the motor, the pump, it's all fine. So it just needs looking at, that's all. First things first, a contactor spray. So I've got some contactor spray, and I'll just spray it in the contact. Just let that work for a few minutes. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, it's cleaned it already actually. So I'll just put these together a few times, and that should clean it off completely. That's clean now. Just wipe these off. So I'm going to snip those bits off, and this one as well. Now I just need to trim off, I don't know, about 1 centimetre, 10 mil, so So just take some of that off. And the same here, 10mm. Okay. So we've got nice clean copper there. Now the next thing, I need to do the same for the motor, because it's obviously the motor which connects to those parts that I've just cleaned off. So again, trim that off and trim that off, and another 10mm. Okay. And I'll twist those. Okay. And I'll twist these ones too. Now there are different ways to joint these. There are all sorts of different fancy ways as well, but I'm going to do it a simple way. I'm going to need two pieces. Okay. I'll just push these over. And one on the red. Okay, and then I'm going to twist these together. Like that. And then pull them apart. And twist again. And then I'll just tighten them up. Okay. Like that. And I need to do the same for this one. Okay. Now, because my hands have got some oily substance on, I need to put more flux on this. Put a load of flux on this and on here. Okay, that will make sure it's very clean. Now I can solder it up. I think I'll zoom in a little bit here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, there's one done. I'll just pull that apart a little bit. And now the next one. And there we go. So they're soldered together. It's not a particularly nice job that actually, but anyway, let's see if I can get the camera to focus. There you go. And now the heat shrink that I put on before, I should be able to just slip that over. Like that. And I'll try and put it over the other one as well. Okay, so now I've got the two pieces with heat shrink on, and now I'll just heat them up with this burner. First one done, and there's the second one. Okay, so now they've got the heat shrink on. Like that. So the connections seem okay now. So we've sorted out the corrosion on there, and we've sorted out the loose joints there. What's next? Really it's the battery, so I'll just push that over there now. Now we've got to look at the battery. So to fix this battery, well, it's completely corroded, and I don't know if this battery is dead or what. I mean, it actually seemed alright when I tested the voltage. I've got this one instead. So I'm going to replace it with this one, but to start with I'll need to solder some sort of contacts to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer a temporary solution. I'm going to take this off, so we'll take that battery away because it'd be too much messing about to repair that at the moment, and I'm going to use this battery instead. Now I don't know the condition of this battery and I don't know how long is left of its life or whatever, but let's use it anyway. So I'll need to cut, these wires are wet as well, but water. Anyway, I'll cut this off. Cut this off here, can't use that anyway. And I'm going to attempt to solder this directly onto here. Now this can be quite difficult because these don't tend to solder very well, but like always, we'll see. So I'll take off about 6mm of this insulation. Whoa, these wires are wrecked, look. They're corroded inside. So we'll need to take off more than that. Let's go for about here and try again. Right, these wires are wrecked. I could try further, but obviously we're getting shorter now, so I'll try here. Now, the next thing I need to do is this battery, so I need to solder this onto here now. Now these can sometimes be an absolute pain to solder to, and I think it's because it's hard to get them really hot. So I'm going to have to pre-solder these, or tin them as it's called, and they're going to have to be tinned thoroughly as well. Okay, there we go. And possibly tin these as well, although this is where it starts getting difficult. Okay. And put the heat shrink on here and here as well. And now let's go for it and see what happens. Let's just have a quick look. It's not too bad, and that one's very nice. So time to put the heat shrink over it, and it might be hot enough for it to melt straight away. We'll see. No. And this one, okay, I'll heat that up again. There we go. So they're on nicely now, and that's a reasonably good job. So we have the battery pack sorted out as well now. So now we've got the battery pack sorted, we've got the, I'll just bring this over here, we've got the motor connected properly and heat shrinked, so it's sealed. So it's looking good. Now let's put the battery back in. Okay, so it's connected up properly now, and I'll switch this on, and it doesn't work. Now that's strange because the motor was working, the pump was working, and the battery works. I tested its voltage. It was low voltage, but it was still enough to power this. So there's another problem now. And I've got these little connector blocks here, I'll just put this end in. It'll go in. Okay, that's in nice and tight. I'll put the heat shrink over it, but I'm not going to heat it up, just in case you need to change the battery. Okay. So now we've taken out that bad connector. If I connect these two together, the motor should turn on. Oh, I need to turn it on first, of course. Yeah, there we go. You can hear the motor whirring away. So that's good. So I need to do the same for these now. Solder these together. This machine really is suffering from corrosion hell. I've just come to put it back in and the wire snapped straight off the motor, so I've had to resolder another piece, but that's okay because we need a bit more length anyway. So now it's time to screw this thing back in. Battery gets secured in with this white thing. Okay, so I've got this hose on really tight now, so I don't think that's going to come off anytime soon, and it's sealed as well, so that's good. That was so awkward putting this thing on. Right, I bought something specifically for this project, and it's this. This is a little barb straight reducer, it's called, and what I want to do is trim this hose down, and then just simply connect the two hoses together. Okay, that's trimmed off, and now I'm going to push this in here. There's no way I'll be able to do this one-handed. I'll have to just get my camera stand. Okay, now I've got to try and attach this barb. Okay, that's in. And now I've got to attach this bit. There we go. And that will make it a lot easier to go on. It'll also make it a lot easier to come off as well, but whatever. That won't be coming off anytime soon. That's completely joined. So the only thing I'll need to do now is just tighten up this bit over here. That little union, whatever it's called, tighten that up, and we'll pretty much be done. Okay, so the repair's hopefully complete, and I've chucked a load of water in there. Now let's see if it works. Where's the switch? There it is. And there you go. So, it looks like the project's been a success, and I don't imagine that's going to be switching off because there aren't any more loose connections, so mission complete. Thanks for watching, bye!